sintéticamente, digo que observé a todos los rivales que enfrentamos.
So in a few words, I can tell you that I observed all the rivals we played against.
Y en todos los entrenamientos que realizaron esos rivales previamente a que los enfrentáramos.
And we watched all the training sessions of the opponents before we played against them.
So even though I've seen that several times, I still can't quite believe it. Tim, what did you make of today? Bear in mind, this was not a press conference. This was a press briefing.
Yeah.
And Marcelo Bielsa invited the media in so he could explain himself.
Oh, it's his agenda. He does not care what anyone thinks about him. And I quite like that about him, and I admire that from him. He feels like he's done nothing wrong. So what he did is assembled the press and he disarmed them straight away. He answered all the questions for them before they had a chance to ask any questions. And in his mind, he has not broke any rules. I know the Football League might look at it and suggest that he has. And if he has, then they will punish him. But the audacity of the man to come out there and do that today is, in my opinion, top draw.
I mean, I spoke to a colleague who was there at the briefing. Yeah. Media weren't allowed to ask questions. It was a briefing. He said his demeanour was almost saying it would be an insult to suggest that by spying it gains an advantage. I know everything anyway. Not in an arrogant way, but I've done so much homework, I don't need to spy for it.
It's not an advantage for me. I don't care. I'll agree with me. It's not an advantage. How's it an advantage? What, cut the set plays or... It makes no difference. You still got to play the team on a Saturday. You still got to beat the team. So with a few set plays, do this or do that, it's still 11v11, so there's no advantage whatsoever.
How can that be the case? Are you telling me, say Pochettino had known that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was going to start with split strikers, that wouldn't have given him an advantage to know that?
No, because you still got to beat him on the football pitch.
Yeah, but tactically.
But the top and bottom of it is, yeah, he's not the only one who's done that, by the way.
No.
He's not the only one. Because how do certain individuals know someone's team before it's even given in? What is that?
Let's just have a look at a few more of the things that Bielsa said today, because as I say, it was a quite extraordinary press conference. Amongst the many things he said, look, I'm going to make it easier for the EFL. I'll assume my behaviour is from the extreme position. We've watched all the opponents before we played them. My goal is to make the investigation easier for them. So he's offering himself up to the EFL. He said, it's not a violation of the law. We can discuss if it's right or wrong. He said, I'm not cheating. I know everything I need to know.
Be interesting if he carries on for the remainder of the season, sending someone to the training ground on a Friday afternoon and to see if he can gain an advantage. It's the only reason he's doing it is to try and small margins and to try and gain an advantage. Otherwise, he wouldn't bother doing it in the first place. There's no need for him to do it.
So my question is, how does that individual get into the training complex?
Well,
he's doing it from the fence, the perimeter fence. I think he had cutters and binoculars, and I mean, he's well armed. These are professional people.
One minute, yeah. I remember when I was at Manchester United, yeah, before we moved to Carrington, that wasn't the best training complex, yeah. You can come and have a look if you want, because ultimately you still got to beat the team on the Saturday. And that's why I look at it. It's as simple as that.
But surely, does it not make it easier for you if you know who's doing what at set pieces? You don't think it's relevant?
No, I don't think it is, because a lot of teams, I know it's changed now, but a lot of teams work on set plays now. Yeah? A set play is a set play. You know, you got an opportunity to score, you might not have an opportunity to score. In open play, it's the same kind of thing. You know, it's all about opportunities and, you know, how the individual plays on a certain day or whatever it may be. So Tim's talking about a slight advantage. Maybe a slight advantage, but I don't think it's anything else. I don't think it's going to change the course of a game on a Saturday.
I think a team lineup would be, you know, if you're spying on them, you can see the 11 are going to start. It's just an example. If Eden Hazard is not playing for Chelsea on a Saturday, and we know that, you could change the way you want to play against Chelsea because he is a make-the-difference player. I think that is the advantage, so knowing the starting 11.
So any advantage gained...
Yeah, but if it mattered that much, everyone would be doing it, Jeff. You know, everyone would be sending them, and they're not.
Well, you've been a manager. Did you ever do it?
No, never crossed my mind to do it. You know, we had the team scouted, obviously, you know, previous to it, but we pretty much worried about what we were going to do rather than the opposition.
Yep.
It's a really interesting approach that Bielsa has taken to this, to invite everybody in and say, let's be clear about this. And he looked surprised. I mean, before the Derby County game, Sky, we said to him this accusation, and he looked bemused. Yeah, I did that. Yeah, it was my man that I sent. So he's not trying to hide anything at all.
He's honest.
But do you think the EFL will look upon him and say, well, OK, culturally, it's perhaps different.
Yep.
Different in the countries that he has coached in. He's not trying to hide anything. Is this a really clever move from somebody who we know is a very, very clever coach to avoid sanction, to avoid punishment, because they're flying in the Championship right now?
I wouldn't say that. I think for him to, like Tim said, just nip it in the bud now and say, I've done it to every team this season in the Championship. Whatever you're going to do, crack on with it.
They can't hurt him, Coley, can they?
No.
Nothing they can do is going to hurt him. This guy has managed 10 clubs already. I think he's a time bomb ready to go at any stage. He's managed 2 national sides. There's nothing they could do to hurt him. The only thing they could possibly do is hurt the football club.
Yeah.
Deduct points and stuff, all nonsense like that. But I don't believe they'll do that.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, the other thing he said, I find him fascinating. It's to confirm what I already know. He said, we're like this as managers. It's to keep my anxiety down. The fact, just to confirm all the work I've done.
I like his style.
You're not supposed to chuckle about it. I mean, are you buying that?
He is. And as far as he's concerned, I think all he's worried about is now, look, I've got it out in the domain, yeah? Everyone knows about it. Make a decision. You make a decision. If you're going to try to deduct points, which no doubts if they did that, Leeds would take it up. If you're going to fine me, you fine me. If you're going to give me a touchline ban, do it. Let's get it done and dusted. We can crack on with the rest of the season.
But if you take it to your extreme, you say it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who watches training. There's no advantage at all. Would you be quite happy preparing for a game and you look over there and there's somebody from the opponents? Would it bother you?
It wouldn't bother me. I'm being very, very honest. Newcastle United, I know Kevin Keegan, used to have all the fans coming and watch training. For all we know, when I was
Not
at
every
Newcastle,
day, though.
Virtually every day at Newcastle. So to come in to watch training, who do you know is in that crowd? Kevin was never worried about it. All he's concerned about is, getting the fans on the side. I mean, they enjoy watching training and we go from there. So for me personally, I look at it and I say to myself, where you really gain the advantage on a set play or a certain individual might play, but you're going to know that certain individual might not play because he's touted to being injured the week before, so possibility is 50-50 or whatever. So you're going to know virtually.
One other point, do you think Derby will necessarily be overly impressed that he put up all of their tactics and he invited the media to ask questions? Any Derby game, formation, details about every single, all there available?
No, they won't be happy with that. Frank obviously wasn't happy at the time, was he? Before the game, made that quite clear, and he won't be happy now. And that's almost rubbing salt in the wounds to get all that stuff up on the board. Be interesting to see if Leeds perceive this to be bringing their club into disrepute. I could tell you the answer. They're top of the league. No, they won't have a question with it. They were bottom of the league, looking to get rid of the manager without paying him. He would have brought the club into disrepute and they would have got rid of him. And that would have been the reason. That's never going to be the reason. He's a god at Leeds at the moment, and quite rightly so. He's a very, very talented manager, and he's lauded by so many top managers in the Premier League all over the world of his methods. I'm not saying this is part of his methods, but his methods on the grass, on the coaching field, he is a top draw coach. Wherever he goes, he improves it. He's got a clear identity of how he wants to play. And he is certainly, with the help from the owners, with the finances, has pulled that club, Leeds United, out of the doldrums.
Do you think he's made a tricky situation for the Football League even trickier by what he's done today? Because by being so open about what he's done, so look, I've got nothing to hide here. Now, he may well have transgressed, as we say, some of their guidelines, because there's no specific law as such. It's arguable, and they've sent out a briefing as the ones he may, as I say, transgress. But what do they do? Do you think, because it's unprecedented, isn't it? I can't think of it.
It is, but we're sitting here, we're saying, he's a clever man. And he's done it for a reason. So he's like I said, he's basically saying to the league now, go on, there you go.
Yep.
Make a decision.
He said, we will respect the sanction, and he's not trying to justify what he did. He's just trying to be completely open.
Well, he's trying to speed up the investigation as well. There's nothing they can dig around and find because he's just put it all on the table
He's
for
helping.
them. He said, there it is. What are you going to do about it? Let's get it over and done with and we can carry on with the rest of the season and trying to get Leeds to the Premier League.